Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Kinder Coffee School. I'm Taylor, and today we're going to demystify some more coffee terms. In an earlier episode, we explained the terms washed, naturally processed, and honeyed coffee. If you haven't seen it yet, head to our YouTube and check out our earlier episodes. Now, we're going to talk about extraction. When we talk about coffee, there's a lot of lingo that gets thrown around. But one word you can almost never escape is the word extraction. People will say, this coffee is over-extracted, or this coffee is under-extracted. But what does that actually mean? The best way to tackle this topic is to first look at how we make coffee. We grind up the beans, we pour hot water in them, and coffee comes out. Some typical ways this is done is either through pouring water through a filter, like on a Chemex, or separating the beans from the liquid, like in a French press. During the brewing process, we are trying to pull the flavors out of the beans and into the water. When the water is poured over the beans, it carries off small particles from the ground up coffee bean, starting from the surface and working further down. Because the particles are water soluble, these tiny pieces transfer with the water into the cup or carafe, giving coffee its signature color and flavors. We call this whole process extraction. The first flavors to be extracted are acidic and fruity. Next, your sweet flavors. Then comes the bitterness. So what is under extraction? Basically, this can happen when your coffee is ground too coarsely and there's not enough surface area, which means you have fewer ground up pieces of the coffee from which the water can pull from. This also can happen if you don't use enough water and don't fully saturate your ground. When this happens, the only flavors that are extracted are the acidic ones because the water can only get to those particles. The way to tackle under extraction is to grind finer and make sure all of your coffee is getting covered evenly with water. On the other end of the spectrum, you have over-extracted your coffee. Over-extraction happens when you grind your beans too fine. When your grind is too fine, it can cause channeling. Water looks for the path of least resistance. So if it finds a place that it can easily pass through the grounds, it will. The odds of this happening are higher the finer you go with your grind. When the water finds that spot, it will extract more flavor disproportionately from the rest of the coffee. What you're going to get then is incredible bitterness. The way to fix this is to grind a bit more coarsely. And again, make sure you're evenly saturating the ground when you're pouring water over them. The biggest piece of advice I can give you is to make your grind adjustments incrementally. Don't change a lot from brew to brew. If your coffee is sour, maybe go 1 or 2 steps finer on your grinder. And if your coffee is bitter, try going 1 or 2 steps coarser. When you get it dialed in, that's where the magic happens. If you're looking for more tips on how to elevate your daily cup of coffee, you can head over to our YouTube channel, or you can subscribe to our Kinder Coffee School emails at kindercoffeelab.com. We also give away free coffee every Friday for those people on our email list. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Kinder Coffee School. See you later.